I'm Anna.
I'm Ben.
We're AutoSave. Welcome to our channel.
Today we're watching Bocchi The Rock, Season 1, Episode 4. Do you know what's better than 3 zip ties? 4. It's more secure, you know?
Yeah. Whatever you're trying to secure is more secure now.
I'm just like thinking about zip ties. Who created zip ties? They're pretty cool.
What did they create them for? Sometimes you hear of inventions being created originally for a completely different purpose than what we use them for now.
If you don't cut the ends off of a zip tie on things that you plan on having the zip tie on there permanently, you're a monster. You know, if you just let like the long end like flopping everywhere, nah, dude, something's wrong
Have
with
some
you.
class.
Yeah, just cut it off. I don't know. Maybe there are benefits of keeping it on. Maybe you could reuse it. I don't know.
I don't know enough about zip ties.
We need to learn more about zip ties.
We will.
We might.
We might.
Ready?
Yeah.
Sweet. Sounds like Kita's learning.
Band collab. But Rio's the one seeing it. Rio's old band.
That's
Singing
true.
and playing at the same time. Played during the interludes.
Yes!
Kita aura. Eager self-improvement power. I think it's supposed to go the other way, up and down.
Yeah. I like how Rio's just sitting there.
She did this during class, 100%.
Yeah. Rio episode?
The band collab. That didn't seem like Rio sighing to seem cool. That seemed like a real sigh.
Well, Rio would never sigh to seem cool. Rio would always sigh because they're cool. I definitely am getting a feeling that we are going to talk more about Rio's other band, though, this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not about zip ties. What if Rio's previous band was like the cable ties? You know? Like a different type of thing.
Like the Velcro black one?
Yeah.
I wonder if this is supposed to represent Kita singing this song, and if it's one of the songs they'll be singing in the show.
That'd be awesome. It'd be a cool interpretation of that, like, oh, finale, you use the intro song. Yes. Yes!
It's supposed to look like a zip tie! Oh, it is. I thought they only came in clear.
I want one.
Instagram.
Minister of social media. Yes.
What? We're giving.
Yeah.
Oh. You took this on. You're so cool. And like lyrics. She's broken. I don't know. That is pretty important. Your signature.
spilled the drink everywhere. Oh, I've been there.
I just recently found those.
Voodoo doll. I don't know.
No. How are you gonna do that?
Uh-huh. You're really selling it.
She immediately just goes to party animal. Both the parents now.
Oh, it's amazing.
No peeking.
I love that the subtitles did that too.
Yes.
That's awesome.
They didn't need to do that, but it was amazing.
I would find it so difficult to write lyrics that would fit into the song that I haven't heard yet. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Agreed. I feel like I'd want the music. Affirming status quo things like believe in yourself.
Uh-oh.
Hanging out together in your free time. Oh. There's so many people.
And
that's what
vibe.
she's trying to figure out. Vibe and
Yeah.
vibe of the song.
What is Rio wearing? I love it.
I wonder if she's going to figure it out on her own. The vibe of the song.
I like these shots.
They look like band photos.
Yeah.
I've seen all of these as band photos.
Photoshop them in.
With the drums.
You know what? I've never thought about that. That's so true.
Just have your drumsticks. It is pretty cute. Just for vibes.
I relate so much.
Bocchi might have seen a place for pictures.
Nice.
Bocchi!
I love
Look
her
at her
phone
phone
case.
case. Little model.
Whoa.
Kita should be in charge of what the band photo looks like.
I cannot believe nobody knows that she's Guitar Hero yet. No.
It's like it got worse.
Yeah.
In every photo.
Interesting.
The eyes got more and more blank. Oh no. This is how I feel about posting on social media.
I love the art.
The birth of? Like a kaiju?
Rio's just Yes.
Social media minister.
Is there a jump pick in this anime OP?
We'll have to check next time.
Oh my god.
Like a, oh no, my underwear. TBD. TBD. Yeah, like what even are the vibes? And we trust in them. Believe in yourself. This is Bocchi speaking. Congrats, La Chic.
I've never been to a real restaurant by myself.
So this is what a one-on-one hangout with them is.
Ah, cool.
Looks like Kona's eyes are dog.
Signatures. Seeing the reflection of her reading.
Ho-ho.
Interesting.
This is a second try for Rio.
Rio is amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
That's their vibe. Is she gonna pay? I
Allowance.
had a feeling. Doesn't matter. She probably got that text from Bocchi and like went here on purpose.
Aw. Back to Kita.
Are we showing Kita lyrics? We're showing everyone lyrics?
The photos, too.
Look at the under eye.
I'm so excited.
She really put her all into this.
Oh, what a line. I love their friendship. Oh my god, yes.
Printing out the pictures. Is it like her whole ceiling or something?
Oh.
Is it her whole room?
Jesus Christ. Oh my god.
That's a lot of printer paper.
It's over.
It's a lot of ink.
No.
Ink for printers could be expensive.
Okay, that was Bocchi The Rock, Season 1, Episode 4. That might have been my favorite episode yet. I love it. Love the show.
I really love the idea that Bocchi is the one to be writing the lyrics. and that idea that, oh, not only does she want to represent the band in what she would believe the audience would prefer, but also thinking about the singer that is singing the song and wanting to write something that emulates that energy. But really, when you're the one asked to do it, they want something that comes from you.
Yeah. And what is really interesting to me too about like Bocchi writing the lyrics, especially at the end, showing them to everybody. Bocchi is in her head a lot, and because of that, her bandmates don't hear a lot of her trains of thought, and they only hear like insecurities or things here and there.
Sometimes random things that they're like, what is she even saying? Why is she
Yeah.
saying this?
So by Bocchi writing the lyrics and everybody else reading it and it pertaining to Bocchi herself, it's just another level of understanding that they're getting of who Bocchi is as a person, because it's just an insight of what her feelings and thoughts are, and I love that. I love
Some
that.
that she probably wouldn't normally express in conversation
Yeah.
comfortably with others.
Socially, yeah.
And we get Rio saying an amazing thing to her, which is that, it might not resonate with everyone in the crowd, but the people that it does resonate for, it is going to hit them very deeply.
Yeah.
And I think that's awesome.
Before I gush more about Rio, I want to gush a little bit about just the show in general. I love the story, but like what's fantastic to me and the best part of the show is the execution of material. Like sure, I can say like the fluidity, the editing, the music, but I think it's for me the writing of the writing and the pacing of the writing in how it's portrayed. Like you can tell the same exact story without breaking walls down and adding in so much creativity and so much fluidity. Like that's a risky thing to do in storytelling, because you're risking losing your audience's attention and also distracting them by things that aren't pertinent to the story.
Mm-hmm.
But when we're getting things and like visions of Bocchi as Godzilla, that I loved, like the one sequence where you could see like the manga dots and everything. Like I love that visually. But when you're doing that, you're adding something to the story by the execution of your writing. You're able to get like they're portraying it in a way that that's what's making me understand Bocchi even more than the story could ever do. We're getting an insight of Bocchi's imagination, and I think that that's so important and so rare to find in anime or manga in my experience. Granted, I haven't watched or read many, but I love it. I think it's so well done, and I appreciate. I wrote down at the beginning of the episode, I wonder what the manga's like the fluidity of it. But by the end of the episode, I'm like, I think that I've kind of answered it for myself, because I imagine that what this anime is just a perfect adaptation. Like that's how I imagine it, because it's so intertwined with the writing, like all the goofiness, right?
Nothing feels unusual or out of place.
Yeah.
I think that my main compliment in terms of the writing is that they're able to have a mix of comedy with a mix of real, mental health issues, social anxieties, real fears that people have, real struggles people have socially, and some of them very, very deep and very, very sensitive to touch upon. But having comedy mixed with that can be, maybe a tough road to go down, where you don't want to feel like you're making a mockery of someone with social anxiety. You don't want to feel like you're making fun of them in writing this story. You don't want to make it less realistic than what it really is, but to be realistic and to also still have comedy. This balance that's happening here. Like I don't ever feel like Bocchi, like I'm mocking Bocchi by laughing in these moments, or that the show or the writing is mocking Bocchi and how Bocchi feels.
Not at all. It's the relation to it that you can find like humorous in like in just a relatable way. You know what I mean? Like it's like the absurd things that somebody, personally speaking, with like anxiety at some points, or social anxiety, right? And like that train of thought and how lost you can get and how far you can fall. It's like, holy shit, how specific and niche it is, and they hit the nail on the head
It's
with the
almost like
execution of it.
You know, the line that Rio says that I already quoted is that it might not resonate with everyone,
Yeah.
but for the ones that it resonates with, it is going to hit them deeply. Like, I almost feel like when I'm laughing during watching this show, it's that idea of like laughing at yourself a
Yeah.
little bit, like, oh my God, I can't believe I do this sort of thing too. Because when you face, like, when you say something out loud or you face it and you really look it in the mirror and you really look at it and you look at yourself and you realize some of these things that you might be doing, you're gonna be like, that's ridiculous that I do that. Like,
Yeah.
you know, and just wanting to have that confidence to put yourself out there.
Mm-hmm. I
Be unique, be yourself. One of my other favorite lines. Abandoning your weakness is equivalent to dying.
Yeah, I loved it, and it's from the best character in the show too. Just again about the writing before we get off the topic, the attention to detail is something extraordinary, and like it's like when I first met you, it was the kind of like art or expression that you loved, and it's something I've always loved of something that it's a great picture that you're looking at in front of you, but the more you zoom into that picture, the more you find to appreciate that you never would have thought that it's that deep, and it's that attention to
It's a good
detail.
example of that. I
It's
think this show's a good example of that.
it's great.
You can probably find it fun, on surface value and entertaining on surface value.
Yeah, but I think it adds it shows how deep the writing is in the execution of the details too, right? So when we're getting Kita asking Bocchi for a suggestion early in the episode, and Bocchi's like trying to think of something to say, and she's searching through all these boxes in her imagination, like you're to list what these boxes are. Like, okay, first of all, a bunch of boxes, it conveys the point.
Mm-hmm.
A bunch of boxes with writing on it, it conveys the point more clear. A bunch of boxes with writing on it, with writing that goes from digital society memories to types of fish. Not only, like, you're showing and executing the image you're trying to get across while twisting it to make it funny and comedic too, and like explaining the joke, right? But like it's brilliant. I love it so much, and it makes me just appreciate the show a lot.
I really appreciate how they're handling the topics that they're handling in this story, and Bocchi's character specifically. I find it really endearing and comforting to watch how these other characters are interacting with her. They're not coddling her by any sense. I mean, if they were coddling her, they would just tell her she didn't have to write the lyrics.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate that what they do is just support. They are there. They give her compliments and reassurance, and they let her decide when to move forward and when to thrive. But they still like give her tasks. They still like give her autonomy. They're like, you should be able to do this. You want to do this. We're going to let you have this to do it, and we believe in you. We support you, and if you need anything, you can come talk to us about it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. There's something special about this show. I like there's a sequence towards the end of the episode that it's almost like when we first started to watch Steins Gate, and that's such a weird comparison. But
I'm like, where are you going with this?
But during the interaction with Rio and Bocchi at the cafe, and they're like quickly flipping back from perspectives, like who we're looking at, whose face we're looking at, and you can see Rio's like blank face, and then it goes to Bocchi's like eyes, who are like freaking out, right? It's the pacing of the editing. It feels so natural, and it feels like you're there, like in a conversation with them. It's so well done.
I agree. I think the show's getting better.
Yeah.
I am still very, very interested to see what they do with actual performance in this show. Like, is the opening or the outro song going to be a song that Kita sings? Is it the song that Bocchi wrote?
Yeah.
I mean, the opening song does sound like a song that Bocchi would have written, so.
It does. What do you think of Rio's backstory with the band?
I liked it. I liked that Rio wasn't going to put her heart and self into something that did not, is not something that she agreed with, is not something that she felt like she could represent well. And of course it wouldn't be fun for her. And she also strikes me as the type of person that's like, why would I do something that's like not necessarily a requirement of me if it's not fun?
Yeah. I think that the idea of like the specific reasoning of her leaving makes so much sense to me based off of how, like, I barely know her as a character, but it completely, like, fits into who she
Hmm.
seems to be as a
She doesn't want
person.
to live in a box.
Yeah, and like, well, think about it. Like, she's trying to find obscure music in her free time to like to listen to. That's the kind of person she is. Not listening to like the, I don't know, what's on the radio mainstream, you know.
Hmm.
Um, Kita
Hmm.
has 593 Instagram posts, and her follower ratio is sick, right? She's only following 992, and she has over 1,000 followers. It's a pretty good ratio.
Nice, good job.
Yeah, gotta appreciate
There's
that.
a good mix of like, look at this cute selfie of me in a maid outfit, to look, I have friends, to I'm cool because I
Do you
play
see the selfie
guitar,
with
to
the
food.
top of Bocchi's head? You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like Bocchi's whole like face isn't in it or anywhere close to it.
Honestly, if I were Bochi that moment and I saw that, that moment would have been like so significant to me.
Yeah,
Yeah, to see that someone else liked me enough,
bro.
even if it's the bit of my head, to post me on their social media, like the compliment.
Sorry to backtrack a little bit, but I was thinking about the interaction again between Rio and Bocchi. Fucking Nijika is the fucking sun, dude. I like, she is the brightest thing in the world. Like, just like, there's no bet. I've never had a friend that bright.
That
You
bright?
you know what I mean? Like, it's, I don't know. Like,
Once upon a time, I knew someone that was like that.
I am I'm astounded. I'm just like, every time Nijika's on the screen, I am like, okay, there has to be something wrong with her because of how amazing and perfect she is and how nice she is and uplifting she is to everybody. Like,
When the person that wrote this sat down to write it, they were like, okay, so
who do I need in my life?
who do I wish I had in my life? Like,
Yeah.
what is a person that I wish that I had, or wish I had had when I was younger, even if they were inspired by their own life events to write this story?
Yeah. I'm like so accustomed to the to other types of shows that we watch. I'm like, nobody's that bright without going through some awful
Some
thing.
awful
Yeah,
thing.
you know what
But
I
it doesn't seem like
that's
she
the
has
case.
at all. I mean, we've met her older sister, and
Yeah.
her older sister just gives cool vibes, not I've been through some stuff vibes.
Agreed.
So,
I loved the texting. I love the whole relationship of Bocchi and Rio this episode. Right before I like, I was hoping that they'd go down the individual friendship road at some point. I didn't think I would get it this soon. I love that they were hanging out. I'm like,
but it like brings up a great thing of like, Bochi didn't even think to herself before going in there that she was about to be one on one.
alone or anxious about that. That if it was me and I was having a lot of social anxiety, that'd be the thing I was
The
anxious
one
about.
on one.
Yeah,
But it's
I
like she was so anxious about
the
probably the
lyrics.
lyrics and also going into this place
Yeah, she
that
didn't even
she
stop
didn't
to
even
think.
think about what would truly cause me the anxiety, which was the one on one.
Yeah, I have the screen stopped at the texts between Bocchi and Rio because that's one of my favorite parts of the show. First of all, the katakana above it, I could totally be wrong, but it seems like Rio is spelled with a U at the end. But that's not the subtitles we have. We have an O. So I think that that's interesting. I wonder if it's spelled different in Japanese, and this is just like interpretation of it by the, subtitles.
That, or I don't have a good enough memory of our
Katakana.
short time learning
Mm,
hiragana and katakana.
yeah. And then Rio's first text to Bocchi is A,
Yeah,
which
but
part of me like
I was wondering about that.
part of me like wonders if one, okay, one, the translation of katakana, right? Maybe in Japan, sending the letter A or the kana for A means something that we are, like, it's an emoticon, or maybe it means something that we don't know. Two, it could be Rio just accidentally sending the letter A.
Mhm.
It could have a variety of meanings. I would love meanings. I would love to spend the next 30 minutes trying to decipher what A from Rio means. But I'll go on, I
So what it
guess.
looks like is it was put on the screen by the subtitles
Yeah.
because it has like a border around it.
It has a stroke, yeah.
Hmm.
So I wonder if it was just the kana for A.
You'd think that they might have put a more. I mean, maybe they just kept it original because it fits Rio's character to just
Yeah.
send some what to us would be
Depends
a
what the
random
intention
letter.
is. Yeah. But Bocchi said, "It's a pleasure to make contact with you." This
It's like
is
she's
Bocchi
talking to an
speaking.
alien.
This is Bocchi speaking. If you happen to still be in Shimokita, do you think you might be able to consider having a look at my lyrics? I'm
So
here,
what's
come
so
by.
funny is that Rio, by the time, so Rio texted back read it immediately, and texted back immediately. I'm sure Rio was like standing outside this restaurant, looking at it longingly. Got
Oh, I
this
can't
text
afford
message,
this.
immediately went in and ordered food and sat down. She's diabolical.
Yeah. Um,
But you
I
can't
love her
stay
so
mad. You
much.
can't be mad at her.
I one of my favorite things or little bits this episode was that Rio's first like reaction was like, "Oh my god, this is amazing. I love it." And it was to Bocchi's fucking signature. How many times have you sat down or like was there an instance when you were younger where you were like, I got to figure out my signature?
Mm-hmm.
How did that go?
I don't think it took me very long. I think I tried on a scratch piece of paper down in my parents' basement for, maybe a good 10 minutes. I tried some different variations and then I asked them both their opinions on
Yeah.
what made me look like older, matured, more professional.
I was like I mine was the first time that I was in art class and I needed like a signature and I learned what signatures were
Oh, my
like for
art
art.
signature is different.
I have the same one. That was a choice though because my sister's an artist and she has an art signature and a regular signature. And then she was at college at the time and I was like 8th grade, freshman year of high school, and I like sat down in my room. I was like, I can't ask my parents. Their opinion would be lame as fuck. I can't ask my anybody else. Their
Shows the
opinions would be lame as
difference.
fuck. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do myself, and I need to be original about it. I'm gonna make
Unique.
my regular signature my art signature, and it's gonna have like an artistic flair to it. I was such a piece of shit.
Little star.
Yeah, no, I should have done that. It's too late to change.
I think
But
so.
bro, I sat down like I was probably like 6 hours of like me just trying everything I could, and then I finally figured one out. And like I love it to this day to a certain degree, but every time I
Is
do
it a
it,
nostalgic love? Like, is it
I
I
think it's
loved it, or
cool.
okay, so you still think it's cool?
I for what my name is, as lame as it is, I think it's kind of cool. But every time I do it and somebody sees it, they're like, "That sucks." Like I can't
Annunzio
even read
Menta?
it. Hmm?
Annunzio Menta?
Oh God. But okay, I want to read the lyrics Bocchi wrote for the first
Yeah, yeah.
attempt that Rio read. Can't do it anymore. You say as you give up on moving forward on a road that seems to go on forever. It feels like you'll never arrive anywhere, and that's got you worried, doesn't it? But hey now, listen up.
Hey
Don't
now.
forget you're not alone. That we're all here. We're sending you this cheer just as your heart's about to break. Your dreams will come true. Don't give up until the very end. Your dreams will come true. Believe in yourself the way that you are. Crossed out. Believe in yourself and get walking again. Glory awaits you ahead. I know it. For everyone around the world trying hard, go for it. I Funny enough, I do think Bocchi could sell this and a pop
Totally.
star could
Uh-huh.
buy it
Yep.
and
Mm-hmm.
make it like number
Yeah, it's
one.
not bad.
Yeah.
It's just not at all what we as the viewer would want
Yeah.
by Bocchi's writing.
Or what Rio would
Or
want.
what Rio. I mean, maybe if you'd show. Honestly, that would have been funny. Give us this like OVA or like POV after credit of a what if this was the song that was handed to Kita and Nijika like
Yeah.
at the end of the episode and how they would have reacted to this one instead.
Nijiko would be like, you know.
This speaks to me.
Yeah.
I'm
Alright.
sending you my cheer all of the time.
I wonder what Rio's gonna come up with because it's awesome that Rio now knows what the lyrics are looking like before she writes the music.
Rio said that they were waiting for inspiration, and
Hopefully
I'm
this is
thinking that
inspiration.
seeing Bocchi, go for it and write her lyrics is going to inspire Rio. Good meal. She had a good meal in her stomach. I'm sure
Yeah.
she went right home and wrote down some musical notes.
Yeah.
And strummed her
She was
bass.
inspired.
And she was inspired.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's all I have you.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And we hope to see you next time.